Cameron Jackson is an incredible young man. He illuminates love. After the death of his grandfather, I remember him walking through the doors, and you could just see and feel his grief. But the love of his grandfather made him want to give back. And when he came and said, I want to volunteer, what can I do? You can ask me to go to any event. I want them to know that sharing a smile, that being present to their present moment, can help them to find hope, strength, and healing. So it's an honor to honor him with our Hope, Strength, and Healing Award.
So I lost my grandfather my freshman year, and that's when I started attending COJ, and that's the first major loss that I've had where I was old enough to understand what loss is and old enough to grieve.
His grandfather is a big basketball star in Dayton. He played for the University of Dayton. He was very well known and loved. Cameron was getting ready for his, freshman year playing basketball at CJ right when he lost his grandfather. And during that time, it was so difficult. Like I think even being part of just his team and games and practices, he would just feel like so much pressure, like I need to really make my grandfather proud, or I wish my grandfather could have been here to see me do this. And it just brought up so much emotion that the game he normally loved became something that was really painful for him.
Sometimes I'm not okay, and I might have a bad day. I might feel like I have a short fuse, and that I apologize in advance, but I'm a human, I'm grieving, I'm going through things. I just need your love and support right now, and just patience. I think that's all what we all need, it's just patience.
And I remember him telling me how hard it was, a few weeks after his grandfather died, when he would go to school and no one would mention it, or no one would ask him how he was, because on the outside he looked like he was fine, and he was so hurt that he didn't have friends that maybe brought it up or asked him how he was. They just assumed he was over it, and he was really hurt by that and had a hard time understanding, how could I have this big major life event happen and everyone's acting like I'm fine, and I'm not fine.
I realized that I had so much grief that has been not dealt with, and it's slowly turned to trauma. And now I'm staying away from things because they give me anxiety, because I never learned how to deal with it the right way. So teaching kids how to grieve the right way the first time can prevent a lot of further problems.
Once he started going to the grief groups and he had an opportunity to start talking about his feelings and really kind of learning other ways to cope, and I think it was so big for him to learn that it was okay for him to be sad, it was okay for him to express his feelings. He always says, what does he say? That it's okay to not be okay. And he learned that through Companions on a Journey.
COJ is my first encounter with grief, and they've taught me all the correct tools, and it's been tremendously important to my life. What it really allows me to do is do what I love. I love to make a difference. I love to make people smile. I love to make people feel okay. As a teen ambassador, I've been to bonfires, the Met Galas, butterfly releases, and every single grief group my school has had since freshman year, January.
I just remember how relieved he was to be in a room full of kids that were experiencing the same thing, that he wasn't alone, that there were other kids who knew exactly how he was feeling. And I think that he found a lot of peace in that.
I think it's so worth it to drive an hour to see so many smiling faces, so many people healing, so many people searching for that hope and strength.
Sorry, one more.
Yeah, go for it.
What is the fundamental difference between crepes and pancakes?
There is no difference. There is no difference. It's a pancake.